This video will discuss ancient water on Mars, current thoughts about water on Mars, and ice underneath the soil of Mars. So, some of the photographs taken by spacecraft in orbit around Mars give us evidence from deposits here that in the past there was water flowing on Mars. So we have here kind of a delta region with the high ground off to the left and the lower elevation off to the right. And the interpretation is that these deposits were laid down as water flowed in this region, giving us kind of the delta effect here. But long time ago, how do we know it's a long time ago? You can see craters in this area. So there have been impacts since this deposit was laid down. So ancient river delta. In another location, we have evidence of a river with the crater here being kind of a barrier in the river with the raised rim of the crater, creating turbulence behind here where the deposits would settle out and making an island downstream, water flowing from the bottom towards the top right on this particular crater. So we have good evidence there was liquid water in the past. Further good evidence from the Spirit and the Opportunity rovers probing the minerals that are found here. These are called blueberries, not because they're the fruit. There's no plant life growing on Mars that we know of. But these are minerals that form spheres in the presence when there's liquid water. So hematite and these nodules in great abundance were discovered, giving good evidence again of in the past there was liquid water on Mars. And very likely the volcanoes, when they're active on Mars, would have given Mars a thicker atmosphere and enough greenhouse effect to produce a temperature where liquid water was more viable. Gypsum deposits, again, a type of material that indicates there was liquid water present when these deposits were laid down. The Curiosity rover in the Gale crater, giving us a photo on the left of pebbles and conglomerate rocks. Over on the right, a dry stream bed, I believe in the southwest United States, again showing us pebbles and the conglomerates. The size of the pebbles that are pushed around here lead astronomers to say, perhaps the stream was knee-deep on Mars. So evidence of liquid water in the past, a stream bed that used to have water in it. What about today? Well, the Phoenix lander that landed in the northern latitudes on Mars, it didn't roam around, it stayed in one place. It had a scoop on it that could dig into the soil. And this scoop found evidence of water ice. This white material here has the characteristics of water ice underneath the soil. And evidence of craters, or you don't send a spacecraft to dig something up, but you have a spacecraft in orbit. And in 2008, 2009, and the water ice slowly disappears as it's exposed to the elements, but water ice from underneath the soil being exposed when the crater impact occurred. And then from the MRO spacecraft in orbit around Mars, searching for hydrogen, and the interpretation is this hydrogen is where there's water ice on the planet, and even towards the equator, underneath the soil. This instrument can probe the top 1 meter of the soil, and evidence that there's water ice in quite a few areas around Mars. What about the present day? Is there any liquid water on Mars today? Well, the atmospheric pressure on Mars is about 1% of atmospheric pressure of the Earth, and that pressure is too low. In addition, the temperature is usually below freezing on Mars, so we don't expect to find liquid water. But on the sides of some cliffs and crater walls, there's some interesting features. So 1999, 2005, and people became very excited about this because this is downhill and new deposits being seen here. One interpretation was that there was water there was water ice, and occasionally that would melt and come leaking out of the side of the crater wall and going on down and bring it down here. It's kind of debatable because of the low temperature and the low surface pressure. Maybe if it's real salty water, it could lengthen its life in that environment before it dissipated. But a little bit more likely that it's carbon dioxide that is causing more of a slippery slope, kind of freeing the material from friction, or carbon dioxide gas itself kind of channeling and carving deposits on the sides of the walls. So some more of these gullies, they're definitely worth further study, as it would be a nice thing if there was enough water ice to make these channels, because astronauts could dig under the soil here and get that water ice and have a water supply. Another one here with it should be animating, but evidently it's not going to animate for me. But there's it shows the growth of these gullies down the slope, and again, some people are hopeful it's water that's causing the growth of the gullies, and some people think it's the carbon dioxide. I'm going to pause a little bit and see if I can get this animation to fire up. Well, I tried a few things, and the previous day this worked okay. This animated GIF. Do your own Google search for Gullies. HIRISE is the name of the camera that this image is collected with, and you'll see dark streaks grow kind of seasonally. It happens on Mars, but again, debatable as whether it's liquid water. Tends to be thought now to be more of a carbon dioxide event. So no, there's carbon dioxide on Mars with its atmosphere and temperatures that indicate it could be sort of a seasonal thing with change in temperature that's releasing carbon dioxide and causing this debris to move down the slopes on these features. So you're going to have to do your own Google search on that, and keep reading, ask your instructor some questions.